Good evening, nerds around the world, and welcome to episode 34 of the Nerds United as One podcast. It is Paul English, and we have a great show for you, and as well as a great panel that I'm going to introduce to you right now, beginning with our co-admin, our co-host, Mr. Chris Miller. Say hi, Chris.
Hey, hello, folks. Hello, fellow nerds. What's up? What's going on? Hopefully, we'll have a pretty dope show for you.
Yes, indeed. That is our hope all the time. Back again as well, we have Avi. What's up going on?
Yay! I'm finally back for my first official episode since I was back for a couple stuff that were technically Nerds Unite episodes, and I was only in like half of that box office episode, the DVDs. So yeah, this is my first official episode back in like 3 months.
Now we got someone who hasn't been here even longer, making his long-awaited return to Nerds Unite as One. It is Eric Mickelson. Eric, what's up?
Not much, Paul. I'm very glad to be back. We were just talking about off-air that I just gotten back from the Pokemon World Championships. That was a great time, but for these last few Mondays, I've just been really busy, but definitely really glad to be back on the show, and this is a topic I'm really excited about, actually. So, can't wait to start.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So, our topic today is actually something that we've gone over this topic once before back in episode 3. However, due to technical difficulties, it proved to be one of our least successful shows, and as a crew that emphasizes quality, that just didn't sit right with us. So we're doing it again, hoping for better results this time. Our topic today is we are going to be counting down our top 10 favorite television shows. We love to watch TV. We all do it. And so, yeah, that's the thing, and let's jump right into it. So we're just going in order. We're each going to name bottom of our list. We'll each work our way top one at a time, so we don't take up too much screen time. So, Avi, I'm going to start with you on this one. I understand you have some honorable mentions to give before you give your top 10. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The reason I didn't put this in my top 10 is because it isn't a good show. I understand that, but like I grew up with like when I was like 5 to 10, like I watched this show, and I understand it's not a good show now, but Full House.
Okay.
I know it's.
I stuck in your head.
I said I know it's a dumb. I know it's by no means.
I'm gonna watch the reboot. Oh my goodness.
But that's only on Netflix. I watched the Lifetime. I watched the unauthorized Full House story last night.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
It was so great.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So Avi, keep going. Give me your number 10.
Okay, number 10. Okay, this is another show like one of the first like shows I watched, and it was one of the first game shows I've ever seen, and I just love it. Match Game.
Okay.
With Gene Rayburn as the host, where you have to like fill in the blanks of like phrases and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Have any of you seen Match Game?
No.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Never heard of it. Never seen it.
It's really fun, and yeah, it's a fun show. It's not really scripted, so I can't really like, go in like how good the cast is and stuff, because it's just like it's a game show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So
All right.
number 10.
No, that's fine. All right, Chris, go ahead. Give me your number 10.
Well, I really don't have a lot. I don't really have like a top 10 list. I mean, I would probably have like a few shows here and there, you know. But these are like shows that I kind of adore with a passion, pretty much, you know. I had a hard time getting this list ready, you know. But I will give it a whirl.
All right. Go ahead.
All right, 6 is The Simpsons. You know, I love the show since I was a little kid. You know, I just love the animation, the story, and the sublime satire of the whole thing. You know, the characters are wonderfully written. You know, original. You know, who doesn't love Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, Maggie? You know, and you kind of see like Simpsons is more than just an animated show. It's a reflection on our society as a whole. You know, I mean, it's not as the quality, yes, has kind of sank in recent years. It really doesn't have the the quality it once has. But yeah, you see like in those early seasons, you see why this series really stands out. You know, Matt Groening truly created something that has really seeped deeply into our culture because it just it touches upon something it touches upon themes that are so prevalent in our today's society. Like it's more than an anime show; it's a reflection of our society as a whole. But I'm hoping for like a return to quality for the series. It may seem very likely, but but that doesn't prevent it from taking the throne and being among the greatest of television series. And okay, number 5 is Lost.
Oh, one at a time. Chris, we're going one at a time. Remember?
One time. Okay,
one of a cow, man.
Sorry.
All right, Eric, you're up next. Give me your number 10.
All right. Funny enough, my number 10 is actually also a Matt Groening show. It is Futurama. So, like Chris, I don't have like a ton of TV shows that I watch currently, and not a ton of them from my past have stuck with me. But so often when I'm looking for like current shows to watch, I usually like something that's quick, humorous, and really not a lot really sticks with me. But 2 shows, one of which being Futurama. It doesn't really delve much into like obviously current issues or reflection of what things are like Chris was saying with The Simpsons, but I'm not sure how to describe it. It just feels like a nice animated comedy that doesn't rely on like cheap gags or gross outs or really any of the stuff that's kind of ruins some shows like Family Guy or South Park and sometimes, and I just kind of like that. It's a nice simple show that's entertaining with every episode. The characters are likable. The writing is great. The animation's also great, same style as The Simpsons are, which is pretty good. So it's just a nice show that every time it's on, I just like to watch it. That's why it's at my number 10.
Okay, very, very good. All right, my number 10 is, funny enough, also like Avi, a game show. One that I recently discovered by watching YouTube, and I think it is absolutely hysterical, and that is Family Feud by Steve Harvey. I mean,
yes.
Harvey's just funny, but I mean, the answers that you find that some of these people give, they're just... what is Steve Harvey's favorite moment? One of the family comes on, like, and the question is, name a word or phrase that follows the word pork. And the challenger buzzes in, lawn! Like, what? Lawn, Steve, lawn! Like, pork lawn? What the hell are you saying? Like, no, L-L-O-N, lawn! Oh, glad you spelled it. But it's pretty funny because he goes, they win the challenge, so he goes to the next guy, and with a guy standing with this 29-year-old rapper named Tick, and so you have to Tick, name a word or phrase that follows the word pork. There's coupon. What? What the fuck? Pork coupon is a word. Yeah, laugh it up, Mr. Harvey. Probably number 1. Like, pound your ass. It's gonna be number 1 on YouTube. You're the only person with coupon. So he goes to the board. Pork coupon. If you watch Family Feud clips on YouTube, the answers they give, you're gonna laugh your ass off so hard. Oh my god, yeah, Family Feud, love that show, it's so funny, and it's number 10 on my list. All right, so we're gonna go back to Avi in just a moment, but Chris, did I hear correctly that Simpsons was your number 6?
Say that again? Yeah.
He didn't have 10. He didn't have 10.
Yeah, I didn't have 10.
Okay, so we're gonna, if you don't mind, we're actually gonna give us a chance to catch up with you. We'll each go give our 9 through 6, and then we'll come back to you for 5. Is that gonna be all right?
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
All right, because we need to catch up with you. All right, Avi, you're up. Give me number 9 on your list.
My number 9 is a show you wouldn't really think of because it's only lasted either 2 or 3 seasons. It came out this decade. The new Looney Tunes show.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Okay. I don't know. I like the fast-paced humor of the show. I'm trying to find. There's an echo.
Yeah, where's that echo coming from?
I think it's me. Oh no, that's it. No, whatever. But there's. Come back to me.
What?
I said come back to me while I fix this echo.
All right. Eric, then, when you're up, give me number 9.
All right, then. My number 9 is a show that's been around for quite some time, but I actually only discovered recently in the last year. It is the Justice League animated series.
Nice! Nice!
Yep. So, I grew up during the time where, Batman the Animated Series was on, but I was not able to watch Batman the Animated Series or Superman Animated Series. So, really, I haven't had, a big introduction to the DC universe, being that I don't read the comics and I've seen lots of Marvel movies, and this just full-on threw me into the universe with well-written, established characters, not only doing that, but also improving on them and making them grow with each episode. I love the fact that every episode was at least a 2-parter. It always made it exciting to come back for the next episode. The action was great in all of the episodes. The characters written very well. The voice acting had to grow on me after I didn't like in the first few episodes, but as the series went on, it was really top notch, and it's just stuck to me as one of my favorite shows and one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
That's a very good pick. That's a very good pick. Okay, Avi. Do you given any new thoughts to Looney Tunes show? What else would you like to say about it?
So yeah, I like the humor. I like the animation. I heard some people were mad because they were kind of they don't live in the wild like they did from the show 70 years ago, that they're more they live in house. And I'm like, that's a stupid reason to not like the show. You have to update it, and I still find it funny. So yeah.
Yeah, I you want to hear about check out the Nostalgia Critics editorial, the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Was a hit or miss. I mean, I never saw it myself, but he gives a pretty fairly compelling argument for, he likes it, but he understands why people hate it. All right. So my number 9, it's a nostalgic childhood classic, Rocko's Modern Life. The greatest television show I have ever seen on Nickelodeon. The animation is stellar. The voice acting is great, but the humor in this movie is just so over the top. And what I love about it was, you revisit it years later and you see all these adult jokes that you never ever thought of, but looking at it later, how the fuck did they get away with it? Rocco the phone sex operator in one scene. And when Heifer starts his second stomach to the all-Scottish show, the way flying up, all-Scottish show, if you look at the first 3 letters of each phrase from the side, it spells out ass. I'm like, how did that get away with it? And then what's another scene? Rocco having a jackhammer event. And there's this scene where you can test out jackhammers, and there's Jack on the sign, Jackhammer Arena, and then on the bottom, Jack all you want. What?
Great scene.
It was funny as a but when you watch these episodes, you get all these adult shows, like, and you love it for a different reason. So, Rocco's Modern Life, I gotta love it.
I gotta check that show out now. You've told me about it.
You won't be disappointed. You can find the seasons on like Amazon and Walmart. Actually, I think you can find the complete. I found the complete series on Walmart. I think I found it for like $20. I don't know if they still have it. But yeah, check it out when you get a chance. All right. Avi, you are up next. You're up. We're up to number 8 now. So give me number 8 on your list.
Wait, what was Eric's number 9 in it?
Justice League.
Because I missed it. Oh, okay, because I missed that. Number 8 for me is Saturday Night Live. More specifically, well, actually, I don't think there's ever been like a bad season of SNL. Maybe a couple bad episodes, but like everything's hit or miss. There's always been like at least one cast member in the later seasons that I was looking forward to. Like more recently, it's been like Bill Hader and stuff. But but he's leaving soon. I think like next year, or a couple, or maybe he's not. But there's been episodes I like. There's episodes I don't like. Don't get me wrong. I don't think every episode of any show is perfect. But I still like the show a lot.
All right. I would prefer the kid version, which was all that. Never really got into Saturday Night Live, but I can understand why people would like that better. All right, Eric, you're up. Give me number 8 on your list.
All right. This one is, I'll admit, it's a little up there due to nostalgia, but every time I revisit, it's always a wondrous joy to revisit. It's the original Pokemon series.
Nice.
So, obviously, as you all, Pokemon's a big thing for me. I went to the championship. But Pokemon's been with me since my childhood. It was one of the first TV shows I ever watched, and it was just so fun. The stories were always really goofy. They didn't have like much sense to them. I mean, Ash and Pikachu turned to a ghost in one episode. It gets crazy sometimes, and it was always a really fun show. And when you're in a world filled with animals that are always battling each other with all these crazy types and moves, it's just nice that they're not trying to take it seriously and just making an enjoyable time out of it. And every time I go back and look at some of the old episodes, it's just a age found memory lane, and it's actually not that badly written. It's being goofy at times, but it doesn't really have like any big major flaws that I have seen recently. But yeah, number 8 is Pokemon for me.
You forgot to mention the best part of the show. You forgot to mention the best part of the show. The most addicting theme song in television history.
Yes, of course.
Once you hear that song, it will never leave your fucking head. It'll be there for life. I can recite the whole thing like this. I can recite the whole thing by heart. I know it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my number 8, and again, it's complete nostalgia. They just made this to get toys, but I grew up with it. I fucking love it, and that is the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1980s classic series. It's like I said, they're 30-minute commercials. They were made to sell toys, but it's so nostalgic. Theme song is great. The characters are memorable. Shredder's on them. Everything about the show is just 80s nostalgic awesomeness. You can't help but love the Turtles. I mean, it is such a goofy idea, but you give your life to it. It's just, I love this show. So and I'm so glad I have this. So yeah, that's number 8 on my list. All right, Avi, you are up next. We are on to number 7. Give me number 7.
No, my number 7 is SpongeBob.
All right. I had a feeling someone was going to say SpongeBob. That's okay, though. That's okay. SpongeBob's cool.
Okay, SpongeBob's only good the first 3 seasons, I will say, but that's good enough to make that is good enough to make my list because the first 3 seasons, in my opinion, are amazing.
Mm.
And I might even have the show higher if the rest of the series was like that. Just like
Might come back to that.
the humor, the animation, just like everything about it. Like I'm not sure the voice work. I'm trying to think what else in an animated show or in any show like you could say is really good. Like the writing, the voice work, the animation. It's just a great show.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? With Steven Hillenberg back, maybe they'll start being better shows again.
Yep, maybe. I think right now they only make like when they're gonna start. Like they could just cancel it. They could have just done what they were originally. I heard they were gonna do with The Simpsons when like right after the movie they were gonna cancel it or something.
No,
That's what.
Nickelodeon will never let that happen.
But yeah, they're just making like an episode of a year of SpongeBob, and it's pointless. Like for the past like 3 years, there's been like 3 episodes.
Yeah, what'd you expect? Nickelodeon's run by idiots. I mean. All right. So Eric, we're up to you now. Give me number 7 on your list.
Well, I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but mine is also SpongeBob pre-movie episodes. There are a couple after the movie 2005 that are good, but for the most part, I'm just gonna be talking about pre-movie SpongeBob because there was a massive quality difference between those bunches of seasons. So the original SpongeBob seasons, it was a show that. Trying to think of a way to describe it a little different than Avi did. It was just a nice, and it was well, obviously nostalgia for me, but it was nice and charming. It doesn't throw tons of adult jokes in there, but there's a lot of
couple.
humor to be had in the show. That's some good slapstick in there as well. I honestly don't know how to like describe the show like Avi did and do it justice. But don't worry, this won't become a running joke. But yeah, SpongeBob is my number 7.
That's all right. That's all right. SpongeBob's good. All right. So, Chris, I know that you've been silent. We appreciate your patience. Don't worry. We'll be getting back to you. It's all good. We haven't forgotten you. I want to assure you that.
Right now we're almost there.
All right. So, my number 7 is it's The Simpsons. I love The Simpsons, especially the first 10 seasons. I mean, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Simpsons. I mean, what can I say that Chris didn't? I mean, it's just one of the greatest television shows of all time. I mean, it's funny, it's top-notch writing, the voice talent is legendary. You know these voices by heart. I mean, The Simpsons is just great, and I'm hoping that maybe we'll see a return to what made The Simpsons so great in the first place. But regardless of what happens, we still have the first 10 seasons to look back and I'm like, wasn't The Simpsons freaking awesome? I can't be against
And the Simpsons movie.
Oh, love the movie.
And the Simpsons movie.
Love the movie.
Yeah.
All right, so, Avi, back to you. Give me number 6.
Hey, number 6 for me is The Simpsons, and it's for the same exact reasons. Same exact reasons as Paul said, so I really have nothing else to elaborate on.
Okay, then. Eric, give me number 6.
Well, I gotta go with The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But
We all have
Didn't we all have it number
it was
6?
actually a little different.
Oh no, Paul had it number 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, the discovery of The Simpsons was a little different than most people. I actually started watching The Simpsons after I saw the movie. The movie was my first introduction to it. And
I might have also. That might also be me, actually.
yeah, and I just found with the show that characters are just you really feel like you really feel like they have real emotion, like real human beings. They go through lots of struggles and turmoils throughout the series. They evolve and they learn from their mistakes. Like Paul said, the writing is top notch. They've got it. There's a reason it's been running for like the last 25 years, maybe more.
26.
Yeah, there
I
you
think
go.
it's up to like season 26.
No, it's starting season 27.
Oh, okay.
It is. But for me, it's mostly just the characters and the emotion that really goes into the writing. That's a very important thing for me when I like a show. And I don't know. I feel like you just get immersed into the world. It's made such an impact on people that I've actually eaten a Krusty Burger. That that's that to me is pretty impressive.
Did you all know that there's a Duff Brewery in Brazil?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I think I heard something like that. I heard.
Yes, there is a brewery in Brazil that makes Duff beer.
At at Universal Studios in the Simpsons area, they actually have a Krusty Burger restaurant. So they serve
Oh.
Krusty Burgers, and you can order a Flaming Mo while you're there.
Mo!
Oh, good.
I had one, and I have a Krusty Burger. They use melted cheddar cheese on the Krusty Burger to simulate like how disgusting the cheese is in the show.
Nice!
Woo!
Nice!
Oh,
Alright,
that,
that is awesome.
mm.
I need a Krusty Burger in New Hampshire. Let's go!
Yes. Give me a Flaming Mo. Oh my goodness.
Yes! Give me a Moe's Tavern. Give me a Flaming Mo.
Oh,
Alright. So, my number 6. It's kind of cheating because there were two shows that I realized I couldn't really pick one over the other. And seeing as how one is a continuation of the other, I kind of just put them in one spot. So, back when we did our box set episode, Jack was showing off all of his DC properties. He's showing off he's got like volumes of the Justice League show. And I wish he was here so I could show him this. I'd be like, Jack, eat your heart out with this. Number 6, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I got them all in this beautiful tin case right here. You got
Nice.
nothing on this. I mean, this is probably my favorite DC animated show of them all. I mean, like Eric was pointing out, the writing is top notch. The voice talent's incredible. They bring back Kevin Conroy from Batman. I mean, and the rest of the voice talent's spectacular as well. And everything. The one problem I have with Justice League is I actually don't like that everything's a two-parter because I mean, I prefer some standalone episodes, which is a strength of Justice League Unlimited. Also, the fact that there are so many heroes, like basically every DC hero you can think of is in Unlimited. I mean, like I said, I couldn't pick between one or the other, so I put both. And since I have both, I'm like, I gotta put them together. So that's my number 6. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited is a tie. My favorite DC animated show of them all. I love these so much.
That is pretty fair. I actually, during the finales and the I think the intro to the series, got a little annoyed when they were 3-parters, so I do understand that.
Yeah, Eric, if you haven't seen Justice League Unlimited yet, you need to check it
Yeah,
out.
I'm like, I'd say a third way through Justice League Unlimited.
It's so good.
Definitely need to work on getting more of it done.
All right. So we're halfway done with
Chris.
our list, everybody. So, oh wait, did you want to say something, Eric?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. So
I know.
we're
I
moving
just said
on-
it was Chris's turn.
Actually, it's your turn now, Avi. We're up to number 5. So.
Oh,
you need
really?
Number 5 on your list. Yeah. Chris will be after you.
Okay, my number. Okay, my number 5. My number 5 is something that I'm kind of debating even having this high, but the more I think about it, there wasn't an episode I hate so far, even though there's only been 2 seasons. It's the only show on ABC I like, The Goldbergs.
Okay.
I don't
No,
know.
I've heard
Like
it's a
I
very
didn't
good
grow.
show.
I didn't grow up in the '80s, but if you grew up in the '80s, you'd probably really like the show. I find it just really funny. It's the only show that I could remember, at least the only sitcom that I can remember, because I'm not the biggest fan of Modern Family. I mean, there are episodes I guess I like, but Yeah, so this is the only actual ABC show, at least on now, that I really like.
Okay. Good. I don't really watch a lot of sitcoms either, Robbie. That's fine. All right, Chris, you're you're up again. So give me number 5 on your list.
Okay.
Well, I mean on ABC.
All right. Well, number 5.
No, you can start.
All right. Okay. Number 5 on my list is Lost. This series created by J.J. Abrams, Jeffrey Lieber, and Damon Lindelof. Of course, it concerns survivors of a jet crash on a mysterious tropical island in the South Pacific Ocean. Heavily serialized though, but it has a very compelling narrative. Systems and mystery being what is this island? With the unique properties that it has. It has a great cast. Matthew Fox as Jack. Of course, you have Evangeline Lilly as Kate. Josh Holloway as Sawyer. I always loved Sawyer. Terry O'Quinn as John Locke. And this series is so much embedded with a lot of philosophy, to it, and also the themes of faith, and the series has a really rich narrative. What really is compelling about it is the mystery behind it, mystery of this island, and of course the supernatural elements surrounding it. Lost is a unique show unlike any other. Of course, this is one of the shows that propelled J.J. Abrams to the top, of course. And he's going on to do Mission Impossible, Star Trek, and Star Wars. Even though he wasn't heavily involved in the other few parts of the show, you can tell his imprint upon it. And it's become a huge cultural phenomenon. It's like, it's become such a part of the popular culture. It has great writing to it, great stories. I love the heavy I love serialized storytelling. I like the serialized format of it. It has a great innovative story structure to it. It's just this is a wonderful show that it's curiously enough, I didn't even watch it in the first season, but yet I watched it in the second season, and it grew on me. It's just one of the best in this medium. That's all I gotta say about Lost.
I started watching that show too. I gave up like halfway through. It was just like they weren't getting to the mystery at all. Like they seemed to stop caring. And what pissed me off about the finale was when me and my mom started watching the show. Like we had a theory of what it was, and JJ went above and beyond saying, "No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is." But that's exactly what it was. So wait, you go through all the trouble saying, no, that's not what it is, that's not what it is. Then you make it what it is? I was right the whole time, but you tell me, no, you're wrong? That's all, JJ, come on.
Yeah, I had a little, I had my bones to pick with the finale as well. Really didn't deliver as far as I would. But yeah, Lost is a hard show to follow. You really have to really pay attention, and it has lots of places, and it deserves to be viewed multiple times. But yeah,
it got too good to follow. Mm-hmm. All right, Eric, give me number 5 on your list.
All right. Now for number 5. I would put the 2D anime Clone Wars series here, but I have not actually seen that. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I'm putting the 3D Star Wars The Clone Wars animated series.
Fantastic series.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay. Go on, Eric.
Yeah. So Star Wars is obviously something that I'm and nerds like, and because I didn't watch the 2D Clone Wars series, I actually always kind of wondered what Obi-Wan in the original movies alluded to with the what he did in the Clone Wars, because they didn't show a ton in the movies.
Yeah,
it gives a lot of background and depth to a lot of characters, both in the movies and in some cases the expanded universe. Now, granted, one of them is retcon into a different backstory, that's different. I really enjoyed that the characters evolved through the entire series. you can really see from start to finish, like, you see, like, Ahsoka, who's one of the main characters of the show, she is just a kid, like a Padawan at the very beginning, but then coming, like, through each and every season, you see her evolve, take her role as a Jedi General much more seriously, and really take on roles of responsibility. You see how Anakin and Obi-Wan are also affected by the things going on throughout the series, and one thing I loved is that even troopers got their own, like, personalities, their own character, despite, them all being clones of one another. You really felt for each and every one of them,
Yes,
which
indeed.
is one of the major flaws of the movie, I think, is like when the big battles are happening, you don't really care for anyone other than the Jedi. You don't care what's happening to all the Republic troops. And so the writing is solid, the characters fantastic, their voice acting and their evolution through the series, their dialogue's great, and I also like how, um, even for being on Cartoon Network, sometimes it wasn't afraid to go into a little bit of a darker route. Like there was one episode where
Yes.
where Darth Maul, by the way, love Darth Maul, so I love what they did with that.
Oh yeah.
Where like one episode he straight up takes over the planet of the woman Obi-Wan loves and stabs her
Yes.
right in
Mandalore.
front of him. That made me
Oh
jaw
my
drop
God.
right there. So the fact that not only it gave me insight to one of my favorites, like, film series of all time, showed phenomenal writing and character development, and had the capability to do lighter and darker stories very well, just makes it resonate for me. And I cannot wait to watch the 2D animated series as well, because I hear that's also fantastic.
You can find that on YouTube, actually. I actually watched it myself a couple months ago. You can find the whole series on YouTube in one, like, 2.5-hour video. It's all
Wow,
there.
nice, awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
I've only seen the last episode of it.
the episode of the 3D one where they see the undead Geonosians, that was actually kind of scary, I will admit.
Yeah, no, that was crazy.
But Eric, you forgot to mention the most incredible thing this series did. This show pulled off what I consider nothing short of a miracle. They took the most despised, one of the most despised, if not the most despised character of all time, Jar Jar Binks, and actually made him tolerable. Not
You can never make Jar Jar Binks tolerable. You can never make him tolerable. Oh my.
They did.
Ah.
They did. They made
No,
him
I mean,
tolerable. Not all
He's
the
still
time.
in the episodes he's in. He's still a klutz like he is in the movie, so he's feels like the same character. But it's not like, oh, he's just goofing around and gets like zapped by the electricity of the speeders. He's actually doing things in the episodes.
Yeah.
And even though it was probably my least favorite arc of the final season, I did enjoy the arc where he had to team up with Mace Windu. That was hilarious.
Team up with who?
Mace Windu?
Oh, I gotta go back and watch that episode.
Yeah. No, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that I consider that nothing short of a miracle. Jar Jar's actually tolerable. Oh my God.
Yeah. Go Darth Maul.
Oh yeah, Darth Maul the badass. All right, number
Let's
5
continue.
on my list. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I know season 1 kind of got off to a slow start, but it picked up big time, and then season 2 was unbelievable. It was so much deeper, so much more compelling, and the introduction of the Inhumans to here was just, so good. This show's just gotten so good. I love it, and I can't wait for season 3. Like, I'm counting the days. We're a month away from season 3.
Yes.
It needs to come here soon. I can't wait for this. So, yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., weak start, but phenomenal way to continue. I love this show, and I can't wait for season 3.
Yeah,
Alright,
definitely enjoyed the first season. I'm almost finished with it on Netflix right now.
Yeah, wait till you get to season 2. It just gets even better.
Season 2
It's so good.
Kick ass. Woo.
All right, we're up to number 4. Avi, we're back to you now. Give me number 4 on your list.
Number 4 is a competition show, America's Got Talent.
All right. Why?
Like you might say, like, how is this? Unless you like, I really like the show, and I'm watching it again tomorrow because there's another episode. Um. Wait, hang on. Yeah, I really like the show. Whether you think like I don't think the actual acts are fake. I think like when they like talk like behind the camera and stuff, and like what they say behind the scenes, because they show it's nothing controversial, but it's like just what they say behind the scenes. That's probably fake, but I don't know. I still find it funny and fun.
All right, all right. And I'd watch, if I did ever watch it, it'd be for Nick Cannon. I mean, Nick Cannon's pretty cool. All right, Chris, you're up next. Give me number 4 on your list.
Okay, all right. Number four on my list. Number 4 on my list would have to be Star Trek, the original series.
Nice.
Original series, yes, the original series. The one that started it all. Kirk, Spock, McCoy, all the rest. The legendary 5-year mission. Roddenberry, send off to Bolio where no one has gone before. What can be said about Star Trek that hasn't been said already? I'm pretty sure you can find a few things, but can you find others that hasn't been said already? Star Trek. I mean, this is a show that is so monumental in this, in the stature in television history. It wasn't a big rating success when it first, when it first went on the air, but it has something. It had great writing, it had great characters. The stories were phenomenal. They introduced things, that you wouldn't even really want, that wasn't even really introduced to television at the time. It was really groundbreaking in that, and talk about topics, that hadn't been, the stuff hadn't been talked in length on television. Not to mention you had the great cast. Who can do better than William Shatner as the brave and attractive Captain J.C. Kirk? Of course,
and many women would say sexy Captain Kirk.
Of course, Leonard Nimoy, God bless us all, may he rest in peace, as the ever logical Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, the passionate, caring doctor played in a very crusty.
Doctor, not a bricklayer.
Played by DeForest Kelly. I mean, and this is really one of the series that made science fiction legitimate. Watchable entertainment because it wasn't just entertainment. You had something.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but the Star Trek. What there's it can be said. One is probably one of the most iconic in television history. That's my number 4.
That's a very good thing. I think you will find Star Trek on my list somewhere, but not yet. All right, Eric, give me number 4 on your list.
All right, for me, number 4 would be the original Teen Titans.
Booyah!
Yes, there you go. So, the original Teen Titans for me, actually my very first introduction to DC. Like, I didn't get big into it until I saw Justice League, but it's my very first introduction. A little context. Most of the shows on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, which is what I watched at the time, were like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, that kind of like goofy, fun sort of thing. And then along comes Teen Titans, a continuous series that can be fun and do like these wacky plots at times, but then also delve into serious matters that really matter to like the characters emotionally, define their personalities. Like, I still remember probably one of my favorite episodes is when Starfire gets sent forward in time and sees like the ramifications had on the team and hearing about how she can't change fate but continues to fight it because she believes in her friends. And that whole episode, the whole show in general, is just wonderful to me. It's like Clone Wars. It gets, it can be funny, it can be happy. Even in serious moments, like Cyborg and Beast Boy will always just like about one line, or Cyborg will just crack a joke, and it'll be great. But they also all know when to take things seriously, when to take responsibility, and the writing and character dialogue is just phenomenal. I know I say that about a lot of the shows at the top, but it's one of the most important things to me. And it's also got the nostalgia factor. I remember it when I was a kid. Still remember that theme song, and it just has stuck with me ever since, making me very disappointed in the new Teen Titans show.
Yeah, I've heard that show's a giant pile of shit. I actually got season 1 of Teen Titans recently, about last month. I got it at Walmart for like $8.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Great show. I gotta disagree with you about the theme song, Eric. I hated it. But I mean,
I think I only remember it just because like nostalgia reasons, and I loved the show so much. That's the only reason, really.
That was a very good show. I never finished it, unfortunately, but I'm hoping to buy the rest of the season so I can finish it up. Yeah. All right. So for my number 4, I have The Flash. I mean, it's just such. Griffin, you know how much I love this. I mean, Flash is just freaking awesome. I mean, everything about it I love. It's great writing. Most characters are good. I won't, we all know how much I hate Iris, but everyone else is good. The action's great, and it's what I love about it and what separates it from Arrow is Flash openly embraces its comic book roots.
Yes.
These are the most ridiculous things ever, but they make it so compelling, make it so good. Like, I just love it. It's such a refreshing take on a comic book show. From everything being so dark and great, from Arrow and Gotham, now we have something that's fully comic book, fully realized live-action comic book show that doesn't hide the fact that it's a comic book show. So, yeah, I friggin' love The Flash. I can't wait for season 2. All right. So we're up to the top 3, everyone. We're getting to the best of the best here on our list. So, Avi, we're back to you. Give me number 3 on your list.
Okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna say my opinion. Just hear me out. I'm gonna say my opinion for the show before mentioning the actual show, just because I feel like you guys are gonna hate this opinion. Yeah, you're gonna hate this show, like before like I even met. If you haven't seen the show, so I feel like you're gonna hate this. So I'm gonna say my opinion, then say the show, then leave for about a minute, and come back so I can watch the episode later.
I think I might have an idea, but go on.
I can watch the episode later and see your reaction. So, okay,
God.
I'm gonna say like,
Dear Lord, help
if
us.
you haven't actually watched the show, I know everyone's reactions if they haven't watched it. I know, especially Paul.
Yep, I know it.
You know it?
Well, I'm making a good guess, but go on.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, the show came out in the 90s. You're still in, Eric?
Okay.
No,
it was
okay.
okay, you may say, oh, it's on ABC Family, it's a stupid show. The show, but it's a hilarious show if you've actually watched the show. It has great writing. Every episode for me is, nearly every episode is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna say the show, and I'm gonna leave and come back.
No.
Boy Meets World.
That was the build-up?
I'm just kidding.
He built it up for Boy Meets World.
You kidding? He actually.
I mean, I never watched it, but I heard it was a really good show.
I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of, actually.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. I was just expecting like, oh, it's a family show, so it's not, or it's a kids show. They actually had some really like, they actually tackled some like really adult issues on the show actually.
Avi, people could make fun of me for liking the original Turtle show or Power Rangers. I still watch those shows.
I know, but it's like every time I'm on the show, I say something that I don't.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like,
To be honest, with all that build-up, I thought you were like gonna say My Little Pony or something like that.
No, I haven't even seen that show ever.
Actually, hold on, guys. Well, on that note, there was actually a time when I did watch that show when I was 4.
What?
Well,
Boy Meets World or My Little Pony?
Adventures were cool. Then it got before it got. Because there was a time when My Little Pony was good before it got all girly.
Yeah, you think a show called My Little Pony would be a little more manlier.
Okay, it got even more girly than it was, but there was a time when that show was actually decent, okay?
Alright. So any more thoughts on Boy Meets World, or was that it?
Yeah, I just find it funny.
Okay then.
No problem with that. No problem at all. All right, Chris, you're up. Give me number 3.
Okay, number 3. Number 3. It's one of the shows that I grew up with. It's pretty much.
I brought up Paul Blart 2 in my first episode.
Yeah.
I should have made
Yeah, that was a
I should have built it up.
Yeah.
I should have built that up.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Chris, continue.
Okay. Number 2. This is a show I've watched as a kid. And that would be Star Trek: Next Generation. The sequel series to Star Trek, the original series, takes place 78 years after the days of the original USS Enterprise. It's a new USS Enterprise. Captain Jean-Luc Picard is in command of the starship. We went off, continuing the Enterprise's mission to explore strange new worlds, seek out new life, and new civilizations.
To both we know I've done before.
And interestingly, this is a show that really, when it was announced, the fans were like, "How dare you, try to replace Kirby Spock?" There was a lot of skepticism behind this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they really weren't they weren't even going to say something. They weren't even going to watch it, but give it a chance. But yet, it proved to be as successful and prolific. Well, it turned out to be as prolific as the original was. Especially the characters are pretty well done. The stories are just well told. The writing is excellent, especially in season 3. We get some of the most iconic episodes in Star Trek history. Especially that Borg. That's the
Borg.
Phenomenal. It did a great job of extending the Star Trek universe. We get to go into the inner depth of what Starfleet is. In its role in the galaxy. And it did, like I said, it expanded the Star Trek universe in ways that no one even thought of. It's really a great continuation of what Gene Roddenberry created. It's truly not just one of the best science fiction series of all time. It's one of the best TV series of all time.
Indeed. Many people may not know this, but when Next Generation first premiered, Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov in the original series, he actually was hoping that show would fail too. He did not like that at all. But after watching it, he realized it was a great show. All right, so Eric, give me number 3 on your list.
All right, number 3 for me would be Arrow. So.
Oh, nice.
Yup. So, Arrow was actually introduced to me just like about a year ago. My friend talked all about it, and honestly, could not have done the first 2 seasons enough justice with what he was saying. So the thing that I love about Arrow is that, obviously, very compelling story throughout the entire season. And even now, obviously, the first season took a while to get going, but the thing about it is that even when it is very episodic at the very beginning of most seasons that I find, it still is very fun to watch because he's still doing vigilante things. He's still becoming a hero, even if it's not through the right means, and it's still very fun to watch. But once it really gets into the meat of the season, like, it is absolutely crazy what happens. The characters are fantastic. All the actors do a wonderful job, and honestly, like, every ending to every season just has me heartbroken at one point or another over what happens to the characters, and you have to keep moving like through every season. It's incredible to watch, and I am definitely excited for season 4. Season 3 was not my favorite, but the show in a whole is just definitely wonderful.
All right. Very good. My number 3, and I'm actually going to sound like a broken record. My number 3 is Arrow. I mean, I don't think I can say anything more about it than what Eric said, other than, in my honest opinion, it is the best damn show on television right now. I mean, nothing tops Arrow to me, and I mean nothing. It's just perfect in every way. I love it. All right, so, yep, that was a short one. All right, we're up to number 2 now. So, Avi, you're next. Give me number 2 on your list.
Number 2 on my list. I was almost debating putting this number 1, but I was like, okay, nothing could beat my number 1 because I just love it, and anyone that knows me knows that's my number 1. But number 2, whose line is it anyway?
Oh, yes, I've never seen. I've heard of that show. Yeah.
It's amazing. I don't care if it's not actually, like, people say, oh, is it actually improv or not, because that's the main basis of the show. I don't care if it is or if they have writers work on it 24/7. It's still hilarious. I love every cast member of the show. I don't think they redid it and Drew Carey wasn't the host anymore. That isn't as good because that actually feels kind of scripted. But I don't care. It's still funny.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Chris, you're up next. Give me number 2.
Okay, number 2 would have to be Seinfeld. Oh,
It's a show about nothing.
yes, the show about nothing. Show about Jerry Seinfeld and his pals and living in New York City. The premise of it being about nothing. What could be said about Seinfeld that hasn't been said already? Oh my goodness. The writing is so sharp, the wit, the humor is just so acid fire. I mean, it's just so top of the notch, Jerry Seinfeld, definitely fits with his role playing basically himself, in the sitcom, and, it's one of the great programs. I love the characters, especially with Elaine, his ex-girlfriend, how assertive and practice she could be. She could be so self-righteous, especially her behavior. Especially people like get out, and Kramer, Michael Richards, probably the silliest characters on the show, and George Costanza. The miserly George Costanza. This has some incredible stories, wonderful episodes, especially, with the Bubble Boy. Oh my God, he lives in the bubble. Boy. The Junior Mint, the contest, the puppy shirt. This is classic. Huh? Oh,
Soup Nazi.
They say, you just called yourself a soup? No soup for you.
No, don't for you. Get down.
It's just like Seinfeld is just the writing is so rich, and it's just like Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld really created lightning in the bottom. This is as good as television can get.
All right, nice. All right, Eric, you're up. Give me number 2.
So number 2 and number 3 were actually really close to each other. And this is actually, I took the longest time to decide between the two of them, but for number 2, I went with The Flash.
Okay, fair enough. I understand why.
Like you said, Paul, The Flash, it just takes such a, like most comic book TV shows tend to go a little bit darker, like Arrow did. Yeah, Justice League kind of went like a midway route where they would be darker some episodes, and the others were kind of like lighter. But Flash was just such a, it took itself seriously for like the overarching plot, but through the rest of the series, it just had fun with itself. It had fun with the idea that it is a comic book movie. This is a superhero with a nonsensical power to run so fast, and I just enjoyed it all the way through. It made such a splash on me. Now I will say, yes, I also had some problems with Iris, but then again, I had problems with Laurel for a season and a half, so I'm willing to give her an extra half a season to not bug me as much.
Oh man, I honestly, I think Iris might be even worse than Laurel. It's, even with when she was at her low, because with Laurel, at least she's getting better. I mean, not
Oh, yeah.
much, but she's getting better. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna have to work a miracle. They're gonna have to pull a miracle to make Iris better. I don't see how they can do that.
Yeah, they definitely are. But like I said, it was such a hard choice to me. I love them both so much, but I think the first season of Flash instilled me with such confidence for the series that it just pushed it a teeny bit farther for me, but they're both pretty much on par for me.
Eric, you will not find a person on this team who will accuse you of being an idiot for putting Flash above Arrow. I mean, we completely understand. It's Arrow. Flash is a great show.
And I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
seen either, so I can't say anything.
Get the fuck on it!
Get your ass on it, Arby. God damn it.
I don't really watch a lot of TV stuff. I mean, like, I was able to get my top 10, and I like all the 10 shows. I don't know. I prefer movies over TV.
Avi, the first 2 seasons of Arrow are on Netflix. Pretty soon, season 3
I don't
will
have
be up.
Netflix. I don't have Netflix.
Get
I have
Netflix.
Amazon Prime. No, I have Amazon Prime. It's whatever my parents have. All I get.
All right. This
I have
is
Amazon Prime. They don't have any good shows.
all right.
That's why I should Netflix.
Yeah, get Netflix because of
But
that.
it costs more. Like it costs like $5 more.
All right.
Pay for the quality.
Yeah, pay for the.
No.
All right. So
Hey.
my number 2. This is much like Chris. I have such a love for this franchise. Unlike Chris, I love them all, and it was kind of hard for me to pick one over the other because I really don't have a favorite incarnation of this, so I kind of just lumped them all into one spot. So number 2 on my list is the Star Trek franchise. I mean, Star Trek is so... I'm not ashamed to admit Star Trek played a role in making me the man I am today. I started really getting into it. I was like 14, 15. I'm, trying to figure out who I am. And Star Trek gave me a set of morals to live by. It taught me who I am. It taught me how I should act. And it just had an impact on my life. And for that reason, I love all of it. It helped make me who I am today. And I don't really have a favorite season. That's why I clumped them all into one spot. I mean, Original, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. All of them have their strengths, and I love them all. So that's why they're in the same spot for me. All Star Trek in its entirety is number 2. So,
Nice.
all right, guys. So we're at the cream of the crop. It's drum roll time on this. So we're up to our number 1s. So Avi, drum roll. Give me number 1 now.
Okay, so I actually brought this show up in a different episode, so most people should know my answer. I know the finale of this show stunk, but I don't care. That doesn't make the other 206 episodes, 207 episodes bad, because one episode stunk, and it just happened to be episode that flushed 9 years of character development out. I don't care. How I Met Your Mother is the greatest show I've ever seen. And even the later seasons, I still love the later seasons. Even like people saying like, oh, the later seasons weren't as good. Even my least favorite episodes, I still thought were good. Even the later episodes and later seasons, I still find funny. I actually think season 6 is the best season, and people say, no, that was like when it started to be bad. I still find the show hilarious.
All right.
Neil Patrick Harris's character, Barney Stinson, is probably the greatest TV show character I've ever seen. I love every character. I like Jason Segel. I like Marshall. Well, Jason Segel played Marshall. I like all the characters, all the actors. I just love the show. And I'll be back.
All right, that's fine. All right, Chris, you're up next. Drum roll, and number 1 for you is?
Right now, number 1 for me, my favorite show right now is Game of Thrones.
All right.
Okay, what's that? What's that rumbling for?
Nothing. I never cared for HBO shows. That's all.
Again, this is an adaptation of George R. R. Martin's song Fire. It tells what goes on in the fictional continents of Westeros and Essos. This show is just top of the notch. It's got great writing. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal, actually. The performances are sensational. The direction is, this is it's wonderful. It's just really. I haven't read George R. R. Martin's books, but I really have a desire to, but if you say what they did with this, what David Benioff and D.B. Weiss did with this show, they created something truly remarkable. And it's just like this is the whole world. I like the whole world of Westeros and Essos. I love Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister. He is probably my favorite character on the show. And all the other characters on the show, they are so complex and morally ambiguous. And there are a lot of fascinating characters on this show. It's just like this is really one of the great creations of the fantasy genre. And this is truly top of the notch television. It's wonderful.
Yeah. All right. Eric, it's up to you. Number one favorite all-time show.
So, number one is from a franchise that's seen its fair shares of ups and downs, and definitely this is probably the highest point it has ever reached. It is the animated series of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
From 1993.
Nice, great show.
Yep. So, as you always see in all the Sonic games and all the kiddie shows, it's always Sonic trying to stop Eggman. Oh, and it's all fun, happy. No, Eggman has won this time, and he has turned the world into a dark, desolate place filled with nothing but machines. And Sonic is part of a group of freedom fighters to try and stop him. The characters are actually really well written. The premise is actually hilariously enough from the comic book series. All the characters are from there as well, so they've already been very well established. The writers have a great backbone to work off of. But even with them, they still evolve the characters. The characters go through lots of changes through the episodes. They get I don't know how to describe it. And the first thing you see is the kick-ass theme song that starts it all off.
Great theme song.
And jumps you right into the action. You get to see the world, the struggle they go against, and it's just incredible to see one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite franchises of all time just have a phenomenal TV show of this level, and like the Nostalgia Critic says, has an environmental message that's subtle.
I know, that's one of the most incredible things, a subtle environmental message.
Disappointment with it for me was that at the very end of the last episode, they teased that Snively was going to have Metal Sonic as a villain in the 3rd season, and it got canceled. The only disappointment I have with that series.
Well, how did the Nostalgia Critic react to it? Remember how the Nostalgia Critic reacted?
Oh, yeah. That was...
Oh, but, there's a TV show I cannot believe I forgot. Am I allowed to mention it, or should I wait till, the end?
Wait till we're done.
Okay.
Eric's still up.
Okay.
Yeah. And, no, I'm just about finished, although I will say, it's funny how, technically, my top 4 shows were all comic book shows.
That's fine.
Yeah, because it's so sad. None of these characters that are in there, besides Sonic, Tails, and Eggman, ever saw any presence outside of that show or the comics once. It was so sad.
I know that Sony's planning on making a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's my hope that if they have even half a brain, they will base it off that amazing show.
Please, please. That's the only thing in the Sonic franchise that has good writing besides Sonic Adventure 2 and Unleashed.
Well, to be fair, I thought Sonic Underground was pretty good too.
Oh,
I thought
okay,
that
yeah.
had solid writing too.
That's like the one Sonic series I have not actually watched.
All right, good pick, Gary. That was a good pick.
Thank you.
All right, guys, reached my number one. So anyone who knows me knows that I consider this the greatest fucking show of all time, and there ain't a damn thing anyone can say to make me change my mind. Number one on my list, Dragon Ball Saga. Like all of them. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, I don't care what it is. I love this show. I love everything about it, from the writing to the voice talent to the action. Everything about it. There is not any negatives about this show at all. I love it. The action sequences are phenomenal. It is the best goddamn show I have ever seen. It is the crown jewel of my collection. I have mentioned it several times. I own all 16 seasons. Not getting a chance to see Resurrection F in theaters was one of the biggest disappointments I've had in recent memory. I need to find that. I can't wait for that show to come out on movie to come out on Blu-ray so I can buy it. I'm going to watch it 5 times in a row. Oh, look at that. I love Dragon Ball Saga so much. It is the greatest show I've ever seen to me. And anyone who tries to tell me it's not, I'm going to shove a Kamehameha wave straight up your ass. No hesitation.
Okay.
Now I do have one quick question, because I know this is like a thing a lot of Dragon Ball fans are a little split on. I know that the actual dialogue and the story told is slightly different in the English and the Japanese versions of it. Do you have a preference?
Well, considering I've never seen any of the, I have listened to any of the original Japanese versions, I can't say. I've never seen any of the heard any of the Japanese dialogue. Can you guys hear me, or?
Yeah, we could hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't seen any of them. So I mean, I really don't have a preference on that. So I could watch. I mean, the DVDs I have the original Japanese dialogue on them, but I prefer the English one is what I prefer because that's what I'm used to. I mean. I can't pick. I know that in the Japanese one, there's a woman who voices Goku. Like I can't hear Goku unless it's Sean Schimmel voicing him. I can't hear Vegeta unless it's Christopher Sabat voicing him. Like I need those English voices because that's what I'm used to. Otherwise, it's not going to sound right. All right, so Avi, you said you had another show you wanted to bring up, another honorable mention.
Well, it's not even a honorable mention. It should have been in my top 10. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it at number 8. So I'm move down SNL to number 9, move down Looney Tunes to move down SNL number 9, move down Looney Tunes to number 10, and kick off Match Game. Number 8, I cannot believe I forgot to say Animaniacs.
Nice.
And yeah, I brought this up on the 90s kid shows, which actually technically was the last episode that Eric was on, which he left now, but yeah.
All right, guys. So that was fun. We had some good laughs, everybody. I appreciate it. Oh, all right, guys. So with all that said, that's going to.
Oh, Eric, my number what? I forgot to list Animaniacs since you left one, huh?
Oh, okay, yeah. Hotel Wi-Fi, isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, Hotel Wi-Fi, so good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's going to wrap up the show. I want to thank you all for coming. Avi, it was nice having you on.
Yay.
Eric, we appreciate you having back here. We hope you'll be back more.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll just next Monday is gonna be my first day of college. Hopefully, I'll be able to make it onto the show though.
Yes, indeed. Next Monday is my first day back at college too, though, so we're both going through it. Chris, as always, my friend, it's a pleasure.
Oh, definitely. I love doing this with you. I mean, definitely a pleasure. Definitely.
All right, guys. So that's gonna wrap up on episode 34. Don't forget to tune in to episode 35 next week. We'll hopefully be having a great show. We will discuss and debate the Superman and Batman motion picture anthology. Talk about the movies, find out which different anthology was better. So we're all looking forward to that. Hopefully, we have more people joining. And as always, because the last show of the month, we will have our collection update. So thank you all for watching. See you next week. Have a great day.